Brad Pitt has seemingly settled his conflict with George Clooney. The film stars famously clashed in the 1980s over quite possibly the most Hollywood conflict anyone could think up. Fight Club actor Brad, 60, and rock star legend George, 63, both rocked their signature mullet hairdos at the same time. Now the two have finally sat down to discuss who did it best. Joining forces for a shared interview with GQ, the hair-raising question was brought up. Speaking of his attempt and their decades-old rivalry, Brad said, "I would say one of the greatest that ever existed." George was quick to ask, "Was my mullet or your mullet?" Brad went on to insist, "I'm going to say mine." Appearing to agree, George said he might say it was his, but admitted that both of their hairstyles were a really good shared experience. The pair starred together in Ocean's 11 in 2001, reuniting in 2004's Ocean's 12 and 2007's Ocean's 13. Brad also acted in George's Confessions of a Dangerous Mind in 2022. They both starred in Tom Daly's husband Dustin Lance Black's play 8 in 2012. George's mullet defeated mission comes after he didn't mince words when he expressed his feelings about director David O. Russell, referring to him as the miserable F. Later in the GQ chat with Brad, George said he would steer clear from working with Russell again. To further twist the knife, the Gravity leading man denounced the 65-year-old filmmaker for making his own and his crew's lives hell, questioning whether the struggle was worthwhile even for a good product. Kicking off the subject, he said the older you get, time allotment is very different. 5 months out of your life is a lot. He then landed a cutting remark. And so it's not just like, oh, I'm going to go do a really good film, like Three Kings, and I'm going to have a miserable F like David O. Russell making my life hell. Making every person in the crew's life hell. It's not worth it. Not at this point in my life. Just to have a good product. George famously clashed with the mercurial director during the production of Three Kings, released back in October 1999, a film set shared with stars such as Mark Wahlberg, Nora Dunn, and Ice Cube. George Clooney opened up about the tumultuous filming of Three Kings, calling it the worst experience of his life. Despite these claims, which David has strongly refuted, has been accused of having conflicts with other stars like Jennifer Lawrence and Amy Adams. Meanwhile, George has also been caught up in a long-standing feud with Russell Crowe. Follow Mirror Celebs on TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube and Threads.